Hi guys, I'm Kim and you're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free and never have to return to that horrendous event ever again. This video is about some of the narcissist's absolutely worst fears, how they can be turned on them, leaving a mortal wound. Understanding a narcissist's greatest fears does give you quite a bit of power if you turn these fears against them. Now, if you are away, for God's sake, stay away. Do not engage. Do not contact them. If you're no contact, for God's sake, stay no contact. It's always going to be the best bet. Now, in the final stages of my exit strategy, and I know lots of you guys are in the final stages of your exit strategy or just starting to plan your exit strategy. Now, in a case like that, I would not implement any retaliation on the narc until you are very close to leaving. Now, I was about 4 weeks out. All of my I's had been dotted and all of my T's had been crossed, and I knew sure as shit that I was leaving. I would not engage in any form of retaliation if you think you could potentially be stuck there with them or you do not even have an exit strategy in place yet. Now, one of the things that the narcissist really covets is their youth. In their opinion, their youth is going to be a means of trapping new victims, keeping new supply coming in and out of the narc harem. Now, for many of us, we are middle-aged, and Trevor is, of course, a middle-aged man. Now, he works in the home renovation business, and I often worked with him. And, of course, over the years, he'd be a little slower at picking stuff up, and he would start to notice the weight of things, you know, a lot more than he did years previously. And he would make comments like, oh man, I'm getting older. Oh man, you know, I used to be stronger than this. Now, of course, throughout our time together, I would say, oh, don't be crazy. No one's stronger than you. Don't be crazy. You know, you're not showing any signs of age. And I would always, you know, dump loads and loads of supply, really positive supply on that. Well, at the end, when he would say things like that, I would say, nope, you're not the man you used to be. Geez, you've aged so much in the last few years. You know, you must be under a lot of stress. Maybe this job's getting to be too much for you, you know, at your age. And I would remind him quite constantly that he was a middle-aged man and simply not capable of the things the younger guys coming up behind him were capable of. Now, one of the things that Trevor would quite frequently say to me to try and hurt me or humiliate me, I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but he would constantly tell me how old, how ugly, how wrinkled, how fucked up I am, how nobody would ever want me or have me because of this dreadful aging that was happening. So at the end, when he would say that to me, because of course he was trying at that point desperately to make me believe, to gaslight me into believing that because of my age and because of how hideous I was, that no one would ever have me. So I would just very calmly say to him, well, Trevor, that must be very distressing to you, you know, especially since you're younger than me and you look 10 years older. Now, when I would attack Trevor, you know, in an area that was a great, great fear to him, he actually would have this almost physical reaction where he would just whoop, right inside. He would just go right in and get into his empty self and start licking and licking away at that wound. I mean, his entire demeanor would change when he would go inside of himself to lick his wounds. Now, another very real fear regarding the loss of youth, of course, is the potential loss of brain function. The narcissist truly believes himself to be smarter than everyone else. They always are the smartest. They always have to be right. So Trevor would every now and then, forget an appointment, as people always do, or, oh, where did I put something? So these to me were always opportunities to remind him of, this loss of youth and this possibility that his mind is fading. So I would say things to him like, geez, maybe you should be juicing more. You seem to almost have an early onset of dementia. God, your mind isn't working like it used to. Now, another tremendous point of fear for a narcissist is death. And this is very much the way a mother protects her child from death or harm or injury. I mean, like a wild bear. Now, the narcissist, detached from the fantasy self that they've created, or the illusion that they've created of a much better self than they actually are, is much like a child to them. This is one of the few things that they truly covet, nurture, and foster. Death to them is the death of this child that they've created, this one thing that they love and protect and nurture and foster. Impending death means the death of this fake self, and this is absolutely terrifying to them. Now, young or old, the narcissist is going to be very, very fearful of death, because it doesn't matter if a mother is young or old, she is still going to be very, very protective of her child. Now, as a narcissist starts to get middle-aged, this becomes a lot more fearful for them. Now, Trevor had, through a bunch of medical testing, it had been detected that he had precancerous cells for, I guess, prostate cancer. Now, most certainly I don't wish cancer on anyone, but, I don't control karma, and if karma sees fit to riddle Trevor with cancer, hey, who am I to judge? Now, very fortunately from my family, there is no cancer in our family. I have aunts that are well into their 90s with, still really good, clean bills of health. Now, I'm older than Trevor, so I went for a full battery of cancer tests. Every test came back negative, which I showed him with great delight. I mean, absolute, almost shrilling, oh my God, look at this, I'm completely cancer-free. And then would say to him, oh my goodness, I'm so worried about you. This could be horrible. With this type of cancer, I think they cut everything out, and you're going to have like pee and poop bags hanging from you, and oh my God, it's going to be terrible. And then I would say to him, though he knew that I was on my way out, don't worry, baby, you can always count on me to take care of you. Yikes. Comments like this did two things to Trevor. One was I was able to remind him that, he had this pending deadly illness, and the other thing was it allowed me to future fake him. Now, it's easy to say that he knew for sure I was leaving. Now, the telltale signs were there, but I'm sure his twisted, fucked up ego in some way made him think, oh, she'll never leave me. But meanwhile, the suspicion that I was leaving was there. I was future faking him, with this bullshit promise that I was going to be there to take care of him. So this was causing, quite a bit of anxiety and stress and discombobulation for Trevor. It was, and very visibly, he was twisting. Now, because the narcissist is so deeply invested in the creation of this illusion, this fake self, they do believe this fake self to be omni-important, absolutely, incredible, worth paying attention to, all-powerful. Ignoring a narcissist is certainly a way to kick them pretty hard in their fearful balls, because they dread and fear mortally being ignored. They believe they have created an illusion that simply is too big to ignore. So when you ignore a narcissist, oh my God, it is just absolutely one of those things that they do not ever want to happen to them. Now, ways that I would ignore Trevor, for example, I'd be running into the grocery store and he'd say, hey, can you grab something? Well, I would grab something, but it wouldn't be what he asked for. And I would do this very intentionally. So later he would say to me, you never listened to me. You never listened to me. And I'd say, oh, Jesus, I didn't even hear you. Or I'd be washing the dishes and he'd be there, blah, 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 blah. And I'd wait till he was finished with his fucking whatever he was saying. And I would just turn to him very calmly and say, did you say something? Oh, my God. You fucking bitch. You fucking bitch. I hate your fucking guts. I hate your fucking guts, you fucking bitch. Oh, my God. And you know what? Fuck you. Hey, buddy, sit on this. Fuck you, cowboy. Now, really understanding the narcissist's deep, deep fear of being ignored makes it really, really easy to ignore them. I mean, this can be done in a multitude of ways. Now, this is the end of part 1. I'm going to move right to part 2 right now so we can get you guys all armed up pretty heavy to defend yourself against these brutal fucking monsters. Peace be with you guys. Love y'all.